Ladies and gentlemen, we are live on YouTube at Coast to Coast Wrestling. Starting right now. All right, let's go. So, most of you guys already know this is not a show today. We just want to vote. We're going to be voting on how we're going to do our match cards because the last way didn't really work because there was a lot of people that didn't feel comfortable going in there and making matches or going wherever to make matches. So, I figured, you know what, we're gonna take everything back to old school. And one important thing is making a match card, which I noticed that's one of the biggest complaints we have here about how matches are made and all that. So I said to myself, you know what? The best way is to let them decide and let them vote. And whatever they vote, that's what we do. And also, I want to say something else that's very important. So when it comes to rules and regulations, and you can't do this, you can't do that, you know, honestly, I'm done doing that. So what I want to do is, for now on, you know, on Messenger, we have the out of character. So, you know, I'm going to leave that to you guys. We're all adults. We should all know how to act. But from here on out, I'm not going to be enforcing any rules. I'm not going to deal with any kind of drama. If someone don't like someone and people are arguing, well, you know what, guys, let them deal with it. If they want to embarrass themselves in front of everybody, let them. Don't say nothing. From now on, that's how we're gonna do. We're all grown up, so we can handle this. So I'm trusting everybody here to just be adults and have fun. So there are no rules. There are no regulations anymore. We're gonna all do what we want to do, and hopefully we do it with respect. Because I believe in all of you guys. I think you're all great people. So that's all we got to do. We got to do it with respect, have fun, and hey, you don't like somebody, block them. Don't tell me about it because I don't want to hear about it. So that's how we're going to do everything from now on. There is no rules. We're just good people, and we're gonna handle this. So that's how we're going to do. But anyways, we have 4 different options on how we are going to make our cards. So once I show you guys all 4 options, we're going to have a poll. You guys are going to vote. Whatever wins, wins, and that's it. And that's what we're going to do. Thank you, everybody that wasn't out of character and put their ideas out there. Most of your ideas were put into these options that I made. Some of them weren't, because some of them would have gave me too much work. And, you know, I'm trying to chill more with my family. I'm trying to chill more with my lady. You know, I just want to, right before the show, boom, biggity bam, let's go. That's it. I don't want to do a million things. So certain things I didn't put into these options because I felt like it was giving me a little bit too much work. But there are 4 options, and I think they're all pretty interesting. So before you get strung up on one option, make sure you listen to all the options first before you're just like set on one. So there's 4, A, B, C, D. I'm going to explain all of them, and you guys are going to vote. So, all right. Here is option A. This is option A. So try to remember, because there's A, B, C, D. So try to remember. All right. So option A will be, you know, the day before the show, which would be Wednesdays and Mondays and Fridays. Oh no, sorry. Every Wednesday we will spin for matches. And we'll put everybody on the wheel. We'll fill up the first show, we'll fill up the second show, and we'll fill up the third show. Once those are done, the week after we do the same thing. So it's going to be one wheel picking a bunch of different shows. So that's one option. The only thing about this is we can only have 10 matches that way if that's what we decide, because the wheel is going to be very time consuming. So we wouldn't be able to have as many matches as we used to this way. But in a way it's good. The pros of it is, you know, it's all decided by the wheel. And the cons are, again, only 10 matches. And something else. This is very important. With every option, we have, this is included in it. Let's see. Let me drag this up. So regardless, what I'm trying to say is, regardless to what option you guys pick, we're always going to look at the tallies. Me over here, I will always look at the tallies. So I'm going to make sure that the amount of matches everyone is getting is pretty damn even. So, for example, over here, Green Walker, perfect example. He has had 3 matches already. And then you have people like Data Boy, who's had 0. So I'll make sure I take care of that to keep that part even. It doesn't matter what option we pick. It's always going to be like that. Much love, Bombshell. It's always going to be like that. So no matter what option we pick, I'm going to do my best to get everybody with the same amount of matches, because it's only fair. Now, so that was option A. So I'll do a quick recap of option A real quick. So a spin for every match. That's how we're going to find who's facing who. And it'll only be 10 matches a night. Okay. So now on to option B. All right. This one was pretty cool. This is letting the universe take total control of the matches. Small edits will be made on my side if needed. So, for example, edit that I would make is, let's say they put Green Walker in a match and they don't put Data Boy. I would fix that. I would switch Data Boy and Green Walker, because Green Walker already had 3 matches, and Data Boy only had 1. So that's the only kind of edit I would do. Also, this way we can have the same amount of matches that we always have. So that wouldn't change. So I'm going to show you an example of what the universe did because I was interested. So here it is. This is what the universe did by itself. I did not do any of this. It did it by itself. So put Data Boy versus Rage. Ghost, the female version of Ghost versus Brittany. Juju and Rum versus Cade and Kyle. Well, I'm just gonna go by it quickly. You guys see, but it was pretty damn good. I noticed they did not put anybody in the card more than once. That's something I noticed. Also, there's variety of matches when the universe does it itself. So it's pretty interesting. And again, I would only make certain edits if I see someone needs a match because they're way behind in the amount of matches. So that again is option B, letting the universe do its thing and then me making small edits according to how many matches everyone's had. That way I can keep that even. So that's option B. Now option oops, I put the wrong thing. Option C is just go old school and let me make the matches. There'll be 14 matches, and my main goal will be to try to put matches together that make sense according to what I see you guys saying in the chats. And that should be easy because we're all in just one chat now. So, I'll make the matches happen myself depending on what I see. And most importantly, according to who's trailing the most. So, I like this way because I can easily make sure everyone has had the same amount of matches. So that's what this way is. It's just old school. Let me do the matches, trust the process, and whoever you fight, and that's it. Because at the end of the day, it's about love, obviously, but when it comes to the game itself, really, at C2CW, it's all about the tally system. The tally system is huge. Who you face really doesn't matter because really the game, how we do, comes down to the tally system, which is our regular season, basically, if you look at it from a sports point of view. In sports, you have regular season. Depending on how good all the teams do regular season, that's who goes to the playoffs. Just like us. Our regular season would be the tallies, and depending on who makes it to the contender matches, they're making it to our playoffs, which will be pay-per-views and for belts and stuff. So that's option C. Now, option D. Last option. This is the last one. This way is kind of two of the other options we had before put together. I would, since there's 14 matches, I would do 7 myself, and the other 7 would be picked by the wheel. And obviously, we would put the names on the wheel of the people that did not fight that night, of the people that I did not book that night. So you'll have the 7 matches that I make, and then the 7 matches according to the wheel. And again, the wheel will only have people on it that did not fight that night. And also this way, you can also have, this way actually we can only have 12 matches, not 14. So it's better than 10, but it's worse than 14. But 12's not bad. 12's pretty good because the wheel is obviously time consuming. And yeah, that's why. So there they are, the 4 options. We won't do it again. But this time I'm going to say a little bit more summarized. Option A, we spin for a wheel. Every single match, we predetermine who fights who, but we'll only have 10 matches. Option B, let the universe take control. And I would only edit matches according to who's fought how much. That's option B. Option C, go old school. Let me do the whole card. And option D is the one that's a little bit of both, if you guys remember. So me making 7 matches and then the wheel picking 7 matches. So there it is. What was I gonna say? But yeah, for the people that missed it, I said earlier, when it comes to all the other rules about you can't do this, you can't say this, you can't this, you can only do this. That does not exist anymore. I'm giving all my trust to you guys. That's it. I'm giving all my trust to you guys to be loving, caring, entertaining, and mature, not be children. So you guys, have all the freedom you want, because that's how we started day one, and honestly, that's how C2CW was supposed to be, because we came from another place that had a lot of rules, and we wanted to make sure that everyone over here was themselves. But on top of that, I do want to say, if there's ever a time that, let's say, I see something or someone DMs me something because they feel like something, a line was totally crossed, those situations, I'm gonna have to make a call. And if the person went overboard and they're acting like a child and being disrespectful in a way that's like overboard, and you guys know I'm very, very, very lenient with that. But if I feel like, it's overboard and it's the same person that's always pissing someone off, then I will step in and I will do what I have to do. Depending on what I see, then I'll do what I have to do. But again, I want you guys to have all the freedom. All the freedom. You guys do whatever you want. And that's why we now have out of character in Messenger, and that's it. We talk as friends and out of character Messenger. If you want to talk about your call and an idea you have in a story, go ahead. You can do that as well. There's no problem doing that. If you want to challenge someone there with your call, you can do that as well. If you want to talk about racing tonight or the UFC fight, you can do that. You can do whatever you want. Doesn't matter. All that matters is that we show love and we be grown-ups. And yes, Susie, we are going to have a poll. So we're going to do that right now. All right. But I'm actually going to leave all these on the screen. That way you guys can see them all. It'll make it way easier, because I talk a lot, and I'm sure you guys forgot some stuff already. Forgot what's what. So I'm gonna do it like this. That way you see all the options. So while I spread this out on the screen or whatever, you guys can read it. That way by the time the poll's up, you guys know what you want. All right. It's not in the right order, but it don't matter. You can see what's option A and you can see what's option B. That's all that matters. All right, so let's go. Here we go. Time to have a poll. Big poll right here. And depending on what you guys pick, I might actually make the card right now, depending on what you guys pick. So, and I appreciate all of you guys that helped, man. I really do. If you notice that something you had talked about wasn't really included in this. Please don't feel offended. The only reason I might have not put it in here is because I felt like it was too time consuming for me. And that's what I do not want anymore. I do not want my whole life focusing on this so much. I just want to have fun and have a show. That's it, man. So, all right. Which option? Okay. Here's the poll. Also, however Vetstra decides to do Discord, that's how she's going to do it. Everybody knows how much I love Vetstra and how much I trust her. So she completely owns that Discord. So whatever she wants to do with that Discord, she does. So please pay attention and please listen to what she says on Discord because, you know, she has a real life job and she puts a lot of time in this because she loves all you guys. So we got to really appreciate her and her hard work. So please help her and please respect her. So whatever she wants to do, she does. If she wants just out of character for Discord, she can do that. If she wants to put the play role in character, she can do that. So all I ask is please show the lady respect. And yeah, that's it. All right now, option D. It's looking like it's going to be between option C and option D right now. Option C is go old school. I love that a lot of you guys voted that. That means you guys trust me, so I really love that. Even if it doesn't win. But option D is best of both worlds. So I would be making 7 matches, and the wheel would pick the other 7 matches of people that did not fight that night. All right, so Vetstra saying in the chats, if you guys have promos or, you know, you want to be in character, strictly just wrestling talk, not in character talking about you went and made a biscuit sandwich. She means in character, you know, talking about your opponent or talking about your call. You can always do that in Discord. So that actually works out very, very well. So Messenger is where we can do everything under one tab, respectfully, and then, you know, Discord is for more of the story aspect and the rivalry aspect of what's going on at C2CW. So that's pretty cool. That should help you guys understand easily. So Messenger, you know, we be ourselves. If we want to talk about our character, we can, whatever we want. Just have respect. That's it. Now in Discord, it's going to be a little more strict when it comes to, you know, where you can say what and about what you can say. Have questions about that, just ask Vetstra. She's a very sweet person and she will never be mean to you ever. It's all about communication. I like that, Vetstra. That's a good idea, Vetstra. You know what I'll do after the show, Vetstra? I'll send you all 4 of these options. That way, because I know you save things better than I do. I do so many things sometimes that everything gets lost. So I'll send you these 4 options, and yeah, we can always try a new option if the first option we end up voting for doesn't work. Man, I'm not gonna lie. I never thought you guys would pick option C, but that means a lot. That means you guys trust me, man. I love that. It means a lot. So right now, option C and option D are tied.
Well, not really. C is in the lead because Cade voted C. He doesn't see the poll, so he couldn't vote on the poll. Autumn's busy right now, but she told Johnny C. And then Link said,
All right. Well, with what you just told me, this is what we're gonna do. Since obviously it was gonna be option C or D, right? It wasn't even close. It was 44 and 40, right?
yeah.
Now we're gonna just have a poll with only those two. All right. Yes, Rig. I know, Rig. And also, I want to make this clear, Rig. I loved how you did the cards. I think you did a wonderful, great job. I appreciate you very much in your hard work. But I didn't like what was being said about favoritism, so I wanted to end that right there. So, but in my opinion, man, you did amazing. So thank you very much. All right. I'm going to let this go for 2 more minutes. And also, I'll be paying attention when I can. Um, this also allows me to be able to finally start checking DMs because now we don't have so many chats. We just have one. So now I'll be able to check DMs. So if you guys have a great idea um, of who you want to face and why, just DM it to me and we communicate that way. That's all. And same thing, Vetstra, since Discord is yours, and to be honest with you guys, I'm never on Discord. Ever. Ever. So Vetstra, if you feel like there's something very important that happened on Discord that I should know about, please let me know. That way I'm not missing anything. And again, let me show you this again so you guys get it. My main focus when I make matches are going to be the tallies. Quick example. Like I said earlier, Green Walker has had 3 one-on-ones already, and Data Boy has had 0. So I know in my mind that Green Walker can take a break in that show, and Data Boy has to be on that show. That's going to be how I do the cards, and that's my main focus, is to have everyone fight the same amount of time. But, customization. If I see someone's never there watching their matches, they might end up starting a trail with the amount of matches they get because I notice, they're not around. So, I'll be keeping that in mind as well, so you guys know. All right, so we have a winner. Option C. Option C, man. We're going old school. I love it. We're going old school. And not only are we going old school with matches, but again, very important, we're going old school in Messenger. Everything in one chat. And I'm going to trust you guys to be good people. That's it. Talk about whatever you want. It doesn't matter. There's no rules, no nothing. It's just simple human morals that we should all have, which is what matters. That's it. And Peaches would like to say something. And also, I want to publicly apologize to Peaches for kicking her out the other day. Sometimes this shit gets us frustrated, but without her, there will be no show. Whatever she wants is what she gets. And I love you very much, Peaches, and I'm sorry. All right, so here you go.
I love you too. Okay, so Jason Miller has a good point. He said, Blue, you give tallies in multi-man matches, though they could have had a match, because you don't. You only give a win, but not the L. So if that's an issue, you can do the parent, whatever those are called, with a star. So it's not an L, but you can still see that they've had a match.
Okay.
Because it's true, if they've been in a big match, it looks like they haven't had a fight, but they actually have.
I see what you're saying. But the thing is, now we have 14 matches, and I can do a lot of matches. We really don't necessarily need multiple man matches anymore. You know, the other day why I did that was because those people weren't on the card. So in my head, I was like, you know what? I might as well put them in a big match. You know, it's just an opportunity for them to get a W, because if they lose, they won't get the loss anyway. That's why that happened the other day. But yeah, I'm gonna keep them one-on-ones or tag teams or mixed tag, like that. We're going classic. And then when we get to pay-per-view, we'll have the ambulance matches. Matter of fact, I'll even talk to all of you guys that are facing each other in a pay-per-view, and you guys can come to an agreement with what kind of match you want at pay-per-view. So that'll be an extra bonus for pay-per-view is, we can have any matches according to what you guys want. But when it comes to the regular season, we're just going to do all 1-versus-1s. Be very strict with 1-versus-1s. That way this tally game becomes very, very fun. So, do you have anything else to say, Peaches?
The chats are saying they personally like using Discord more. And Rob said we should use Discord more. There is a lot of stuff on Discord too, though. Like, there's certain chats. It really should be used more, I think, as well.
Well, the thing is, I don't want to be...
Yeah, we're never in there.
I don't want to be on Discord. Hold on, let me get there. The thing is, guys, I don't want to be on Discord. I don't want to make this harder for myself. I want to have as much time as possible and as much fun as possible. So when it comes to the Discord thing, yes, a lot is said on Discord, but that's why Rena, aka Vetstra, that's why she runs Discord. That's why she owns it, because anything important there that you feel like she should know, you tell her. Or if you have Messenger, you can come DM me as well. So you always have me to DM, or you always have Vetstra that's paying attention and is going to tell me. Hey, who knows? Maybe Vetstra might even recruit a Discord team that can, highlight certain things that deserve light, because these people are working hard on stories and stuff. So it's up to her. It's up to her. But what I wanted to do was explain the Messenger side of it and how we're going to do matches. So that's going to be up to her. Vetstra, we're going to give some time. Vetstra, if you need to join the booth, that way you can say whatever you have to say, come join, because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of important things that you would like to say. So I'm gonna leave this here. We're gonna wait for you, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So we'll wait for Vetstra, and please listen to her when she's here. I actually gotta go open up. I'm at Vetstra. I'm at the movies section on C2CW Discord. I'm not in the management one. I'm at the C2CW one. So we're gonna give her time. Just gonna wait a little bit. Let me know if Vetstra says anything on your end, Eva. Yeah, any questions you guys have, um, put peaches next to it or shrimp. That way, peaches can continue asking questions. But I mean, because that's very important. I don't want to just tell you guys what we're gonna do. You guys vote and then leave, because I'm sure there's a lot of questions. So if you guys have questions, this is the time, because I can easily answer your questions because I'm on a microphone right now, and people can always come back and watch this as well. So that's another reason why questions are so important. Don't be afraid to ask any questions. I don't care what question it is. All I ask is you guys be real, and say how you feel and ask what you want to know.
Oh, Vextra went to the bathroom, so she missed what you said. I'm telling her though.
Okay. Veteran went to the bathroom, so we're gonna wait a bit. And also, guys, let's also keep this in mind that we have over 90 calls. Okay, over 90, and in this live chat right now there are only 18. So it's our responsibility as good people to explain to anybody that doesn't know the new rules if they ask. If they ask, be patient with them and explain to them, because they weren't here. So mathematically, there's going to be a lot of people that don't know this. So don't get frustrated because they don't know. Just consider that they were probably not here. So please explain. It doesn't matter who it is. If anybody can explain to them, that'll be great. We work as a team. All right, here she is, Vetstra.
Hello.
Hello, lady. All right, so guys, please do me a favor. Again, this lady works very, very, very hard for us, all out of love. So please pay attention to what she's going to say, because it's very important. And I'm going on mute, Vetstra. It's all yours.
Wait, what am I saying? I went pee. I came back, and now I was told to go to Discord.
Oh, okay. So because we're having this recorded, I feel like it's very important for us to explain everything now. That way, the people that missed, they can come back and watch it. And I know that Discord is very important to us. And I'm basically, focusing on the messenger side. And, any extra things that have to be said to me will be said to me by either you or the person behind the story. But what I want you to do, since you're the owner of Discord, to let them know what it is that you want Discord to be. Any rules, anything you feel that should be said, say it now.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for having me
Of course.
and being able to explain a little bit. So pretty much what I want Discord to be is pretty much what it was in the beginning, where it was just your go-to official wrestling information. You got all your tabs in there. If you guys want to use that for your personal notes, you can. If you want to call somebody out in there, you can. Um, I'm gonna bring back role play. I just ask that it just strictly stays like wrestling related. You guys can shit talk, trash talk about your matches coming up, whatever you want. You can do that. Just, of course, make it respectful. Follow the rules as far as like no discrimination, just like Blue said earlier. We're all grown-ups. We know what's right, we know what's wrong. Don't push the boundaries, and just have fun with it. I want to make sure, and Blue as well, we want to make sure that C2CW is just a good wrestling Efed experience for you. Have fun with it, go with the flow. Um, and if you have any videos you want to post, there's just pretty much everything's there for you at your disposal. So feel free to use it. It's pretty much your guys' Discord as well too, because you guys really do help make C2CW happen. And if you have any ideas, suggestions to put in Discord, just let me know. I'll consider it. I am pretty picky though. So I just want to make sure that everything's organized and it doesn't get too cluttered where it gets where it looks too busy and people can't find things. So um yeah, just pretty much enjoy your stay, and I know we have people that don't have Discord that use Messenger, and that's fine too. I know um you can say stuff in out of character. Uh, but there's also people that strictly use just Discord, so they kind of miss a lot that's going on. So I'm pretty sure they want to get involved as well as far as role play and stuff like that. So we'll have a medium balance between the two, and just have fun and roll with it and stuff. So that's all.
All right. So you know what? I actually have a couple questions for you, Vetra. Um,
Sure.
so when it comes to being organized, what three things would you ask for that's very important that you feel like you know can't get all messy? Because I remember you were saying role play, you wanted it to be a certain way. So what are the three main things that you feel like they have to do on Discord for everything to run smoothly?
Just pretty much, I just ask for no like outside leisure. You know how like people going to the gym or going to have dinner or going to eat or walking across the street to go find the chicken. Anything leisure like outside call activity, I kind of don't want, just because it takes up a lot of room, it takes up a lot of space. It doesn't lead to any kind of matches or anything, you know, I don't want to sound rude, or it doesn't really go anywhere as far as matches or wrestling is concerned. So anything that's outside leisure, I kind of don't want as far as role play. Just keep it all wrestling and match related. You know what? Hold on. Let me read. Let's see.
While you
Okay,
find
so
that, oh, forget it.
yeah, I found. Okay, so this is what I'm going to read out loud that I wrote in the announcements. And this is kind of outdated a little bit because I wrote it a couple of weeks ago, but it says that the roleplay tab has been uh hold on. Okay, go ahead because I missed it. Wait a minute, where did I You know what? I deleted it. My bad. Just pretty much outside leisure stuff is just I kind of just don't want to see that. Like I said, it kind of just defeats the whole purpose of really trying to focus on the cause and their stories, their role play, their matches and stuff like that. So that's just all I ask, is just no leisure play. And that's pretty much the only thing that I really want as far as you guys role played. Um, because I don't want to be too strict. I don't want to be saying that you can't do this, you can't do that. I want you guys to have fun. And if things get a little bit too carried away and stuff, then I'll just message you privately or something and let you know.
There we go.
But
Hey, that
but
makes a lot of sense.
yeah.
So I'm gonna try to summarize what you said, and you let me know if I'm correct or not. So I think what
Okay.
she's saying is the role playing chat in C2CW. When you guys go in there, please, like for example, this is the kind of stuff you should say. You should say, "Oh, you got lucky versus me last match because this or this," or you should say, "I'm better than you because I had this many titles. I'm gonna make you tap out," or just wrestling based. We don't want to write fantasy stories, so we don't want to talk about. I made a sandwich at the park, and then somebody says, I magically appeared at the park. She doesn't want that. She wants just, strictly wrestling.
Mhm. Yes.
Okay. So again, guys, before I start answering your questions, remember, Discord is ran by Vetstra. You have questions about Discord? Ask her. She'll tell you. Messenger, I already told you 100 times. You guys have all freedom there. If there's any stories Vetstra sees that she feels like, I should definitely put a light on, she will tell me. If there's any of you in Discord that feel like you can't get in contact with me because you're not on Messenger, then let her know to let me know, and she will. And it's all communication, basically. But all right, let me scroll up.
First question is Walker.
Okay.
Right here.
Okay, so Walker's question is, how does Blue choose matches? Example, Green Walker has a match this week, but Rob Z doesn't this week. Then Rob Z have a match the week after, and Walker wouldn't. No, it's not necessarily going to be like that. So it's going to be kind of everything is going to be taken into consideration with all the knowledge that I have from everyone. So let me go back here so I can show you guys. Take that off, that off, that off, that off. Okay. So, I'll be paying attention to who's always at the shows, who's active, who's never there. I'll be paying attention to stories and certain rivalries that I see happen that have to happen in a match. All that stuff I'm going to take in consideration. But the most important thing, Walker, is, again, I'm going to use you as an example because you've had 3 matches. So you've had 3 matches, one-on-ones already. And Data Boy has had none. So I'm going to make sure next show you're not on there and Data Boy is. And my main thing is that the tallies are even and everyone has a fair chance. But in the situation of, I notice certain people are hardly ever there, then, they're going to end up trailing in the amount of matches they have. I'm not going to say anything to that person. I'll just book them less. And that's how it's going to be. But everybody that's very passionate and always there, and a lot of you are, you guys will always have the same amount of matches, and you'll always have the most matches. So that's how it's going to be. So there's going to be a lot to consider when I do it. But again, the main thing is amount of matches everyone had. Because with a tally system, we're playing a game to first 3 W's in a row. So when we play that game, that means the amount of matches you have are crucial. And that's why I want to make sure everyone has the same amount of matches. The only way you'll start trailing on the amount of matches is if I see that person's not active. Then, they're eventually going to have 2 one-on-ones while all the active people have had 5 one-on-ones. So depending on what happens is how I'm going to book it. All right, next question. Guys, if you have questions for Vetstra on Discord, make sure you ask her as well.
Johnny had a question. He says, also, shouldn't people ask permission to use other people's calls in roleplay? I know in Discord, the rule was that people do have to ask permission to go to their tabs. But I think I'm gonna leave it um to individuals if they want permission to be used, they can, because I want people to feel comfortable as well. But you have to understand as well that this is wrestling, so people are gonna be calling people out. It's what makes it exciting and fun, but you have to also learn boundaries too. So if somebody's saying I don't want to role play or I would rather use my permission, please honor that because I don't want anybody getting upset and feeling like that they're not being, their feelings are not being considered. But just keep an open mind that just because somebody calls you out or uses you in role play, you don't necessarily have to participate. So if somebody calls me out, like I did that with Jen in character. Somebody calls Vextra out, I don't want to participate in the role play, whether it's because me personally, I just don't want to like get involved or whatever. You can just say, I don't want to participate, or even actually, if you don't want to participate out of character, send them a message and say, you know what, I'm not looking forward to role playing. Can't so just leave me out for right now. Um, I mean, that's the best route to go, in my opinion, unless Blue has another suggestion. But like I said, guys, this is wrestling. You guys signed up for it. So if people are gonna call you out, people are gonna want to fight you, people are gonna want to talk to you. So just keep an open mind. Know that it's all in character. So have fun with it, roll with the punches. So
Can I
that's
suggest something to you, Vetstra?
sure.
So my whole thing is this being, like a lot of weight off of mine and your shoulders and Eva's shoulders. That's my whole goal here. So I feel
Mm-hmm.
like I think this would help you a lot. Let's say Green Walker is saying he wants to fight Dynamite. Well, we'll just take. I think you should just take Green Walker's word, make that happen. But if Dynamite ever comes to you and says, no, I don't want to do that, then we won't do it. So basically, it'll be everything is on you guys. You guys are responsible
Mm-hmm.
for anything. If you're not around enough to know that someone has put you in a match versus them, well, that's your loss. If you notice that someone put you in a match versus them and you don't want it to happen, you don't even have to DM that person. Just DM me or DM Vetstra and we'll make sure it doesn't happen. That way it's very easy.
Yeah. And then we'll also let the other person know that they declined,
Yeah, exactly.
and then that way they can look for somebody else.
Peaches
And
looked
also
like she
too,
wanted.
like just real quick, I know a lot of people kind of complain a little bit when they're picked for a different match that they didn't want or they didn't get into a match. Like I said, just like Blue said, you guys are responsible for keeping up with things. That's why we want you guys to be involved as much as possible so you know what's going on. And don't get disappointed when you're not in a match, or don't get frustrated when somebody like Blue or me or anybody in management tells you um, that you're not in a match because you weren't around. So if you want to be involved and get into matches and be on the card, then I strongly suggest you guys really, be here and be active and stuff, because it's going to come to the point where we're going to start, you know, benching inactive people. And so,
Yep. And another thing you reminded me real quick, because Peaches has something to say, but another thing you reminded me, I'm no
mm,
longer going to tell people, hey, you're not part of C2CW, you're fired. I'm not doing that anymore. If I see there's someone that's never at the show, I'll just never use them until they DM me and say, hey, I've noticed I haven't been on the show. And then at that point,
mhm,
that's when I can say, hey, they cared enough to come ask me. And now will be my time to explain to them, and we'll figure it out together. But when it comes to firing, I'm not doing any of that anymore. And Peaches, what did you have to say?
So with that whole thing you said about people making like their matches or whatever, you're going to be making the matches and trying to make it fair by the tally system.
Yeah.
And I had mentioned to Blue, because a lot of the times people aren't going to get the matches they probably want. So I'm thinking that once he makes the card ahead of time, he can post it. That way they know, people know who they're fighting, and then they can go from there.
Nah, that gives me more work. And not just that, I want to see what people actually really enjoy the show. So I do not want to do that.
So question, if you're the one that's going to be making the cards
Mm-hmm.
by yourself based off keeping it even on
Yep.
the tally sheet, what about the people that are in Discord role playing and making matches?
They would have to wait. Like for example, so you're saying, what if Green Walker is doing very good in Discord, making matches, but right now he has 3 matches?
Yeah.
Well, Green Walker would have to wait for all the other active people to have 3 matches as well, because that's the most important. So as long as you guys know that, it's going to help, because you guys know, okay, well, I had 3 matches already, so yeah, it's my turn to sit. So I will be making those decisions based off of everything. So
And another thing, because I don't think you might not have understood me clearly because you said that's more work. What I was saying is once you're done making a card, you post the card in Messenger and in Discord. That way they know who they're fighting, and it gives them a little bit of a chance to shit talk to each other. So all you would do is post the card that you made. Just a thought.
well, you know what? Well, maybe we will, maybe we won't. I don't want to make any promises, but all you guys got to know is the main thing is all the active people have to have the same amount of matches. And the ones that aren't active, they're going to start trailing and falling back. That's it. And when I do make matches for people that have to catch up, if they have a story, I'll make sure that story is going to happen as long as that other person isn't in the lead by a trillion. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So basically everything's going to be taken into consideration, but the tallies and the amount people fight each other is the foundation, and that's what's going to be most of my judgment. It's going to be, hey, James Smith only had 1 match. Green Walker had 3. Let's get James Smith and Jay Money to fight each other. That way they both had 2 matches and they're catching up. That's going to be my main thing. And everything else, all the stories and all that, will definitely be considered while I'm making the matches.
Mm-hmm. And then we also have that match card, confirmed matches tab in Discord too. If you can use that anytime too, Blue, if you want to like throw it in there, or maybe even message me an updated, card that I can throw in there real quick, so that way people know, who's guaranteed for that night or something, so that way they can see. So we still got that.
See their options basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a great idea. So,
Mm-hmm.
Since Eva and Vetstra are kind of thinking alike, I'm gonna go with what they're saying. So, here's what we'll do. So our shows are Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So the day before every single show, I will make a list of all the people that have to catch up, and I feel like, are part of the family. So, for example, all the people with 3, I would not put on that list because they already have 3. All the people with 2, I probably will not put on that list. So on the list is going to be all the people that only had 1 fight or no fights. That way you guys see, okay, this guy's definitely going to be booked. Let me go after him, and you know what person you can go after. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes perfect sense.
All right. So I'm gonna have to get that list ready after we get off of here, and shit.
Zach had said something. He said that, hold on, he's gonna be creating a totally custom entrance music for everyone. I'm not sure.
No, 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 no. Zach, I'm gonna talk about that too. So I had asked if anybody wanted to be a DJ for Tuesday and Thursdays to let me know, but I cannot deal with the inconsistency. If I get a DJ, I need them to be there every show, and until we do get a DJ that can do that, I'm gonna have a list of uh, music that's not copywritten, and I'm gonna use those songs, and we're gonna go like that. We're gonna go from there. Because one, a lot of times they're blocking our show. That's number one. Two, um, it literally gives me a headache. You guys have no idea, because there's so much more that I have to do. So this way, I can just get a list of all those free, non-copywritten music, and play those. Because I can't deal with the inconsistency no more.
With that said, Chin Pao had mentioned earlier, he said cut down on the music to the ring, make it shorter. It would make the show a lot shorter too.
True. That's true. Very true. I can do that as well. Exactly. I don't have to play the whole entire entrance. I can actually, play it each one for like 40 seconds instead of a minute and a half. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, there's no custom music until we have a DJ that's going to be there every day. That's it. Not every day, but every show. That way, I don't have to deal with any of that. If I'm going to deal with any of that, I'm definitely not going to get copywritten, and I'm definitely not going to do people's customized songs because it's a lot of work for me. So that's how we're going to do. Pay-per-views, though. Pay-per-views, I'll make sure, because pay-per-views are always Saturday, and I'm sure I can find somebody for Saturday, most likely Zach. So pay-per-views we'll make sure to give you guys your custom music. That way, at least you still have your custom music. But the regular shows, it's just going to be more focused on these matches and being able to watch the show the day after. But yeah.
Well, Big Rig said that he thought Johnny said he would DJ Tuesday and Thursday. I didn't know that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hey, if that's the case, then we will do it. So I'll talk to Johnny. You heard Eva?
Yep.
Let him know, because they might not hear me from over here.
All right, so he's going to talk to Johnny after and figure that out. And, okay, Walker. So, I like that. So, if you have a good story that you've been doing for a while, but you already had three fights,
Two matches. Yeah.
I think what you would do is you would just wait until other people catch up, and then you put it in Discord, and Vextra will see it or something, and
we'll make
then
it happen.
yeah.
Exactly.
And Xander, if they were in a big match and they didn't get a tally because they lost, it's kind of not really important because they never did get a one-on-one.
Yeah, honestly, all those people that were in that match that day, they should honestly be thankful because they weren't even supposed to fight that day, and they were given a free chance basically to get a win because everyone that lost did not get a loss, which does not reset you. So that was kind of a bonus match for them. All right.
not seeing anything else.
Any questions for Vetstra on Discord? Also, remember, like I said, uh, if people are confused and asking questions later, remember we have over 90 calls in C2CW and only 20 of you guys were at this show. So mathematically, 70 people don't know about all of this. So just have patience and explain it to them. And yeah.
Walker had a question. He says, "Will Discord get more attention than Messenger, or does Vex send info to Blue for the show?" Um, I'm gonna keep a close eye on Discord. Like I said, Discord's gonna be a little bit more organized when it comes to things that you guys want to do as far as role play and making things happen with your calls and stuff like that. So if you want a little bit more attention to what's going on, I would, you know, use Discord just because it's, a little bit more organized. The only thing I like, the reason why I liked Messenger was also it's the reason why I hate it. Well, I don't hate it, but as far as roleplay goes, because it was so many things were happening all at once that a lot of things were getting missed. Like certain call outs were getting missed, certain stories were being missed, just because Messenger is just used so much and it's so saturated. So the only reason why I wanted Discord to take place was just so that it's filtered a little bit better, and it's a little bit kind of like an not so much official, but just more organized and I guess what you should say official
Yeah. The
option
way I
to
look at
the
it,
Messenger.
yeah. And the way I look at it too is, for you guys that love being in character and love the stories, well, Discord's where you want to be because that's where you really get to make that part of your call shine. So really
Hmm.
look at it like that. Discord's more about your wrestler and getting stories out there and getting rivals out there. And then Messenger is to do whatever the hell you want. You want to talk about your call, do it. You want to talk about movies, do it. Whatever you want. Um,
Yeah.
and real quick, will be so Xander. Again, those guys that lost and didn't get a tally, they were just lucky that night. They were lucky that night that we did that because we're not going to do that again. So they were lucky to get a match that they didn't even get a L for losing. So we're just going to forget about that. And when it comes to what you're talking about, momentum, Jason Miller, that's not how momentum works. So if, let's say Xander, for an example, he's won 3 matches in a row. What the game does, it gives you these certain badges and it adds your attributes and puts your attributes up. If you don't lose a match, that's never going to change. So you're going to still have that momentum. That momentum will not change until the next time you fight. If you win, it might go up. If you lose, it might go down. That's how momentum works. So you don't have to worry about, not fighting for 2 shows and losing momentum because that's not how it works. And Zach, okay, you say I misunderstood, so please re-explain if you don't mind.
While you wait for that, can you role play matches in the out of character on Messenger?
Yes.
Okay, so Walker, since you like to do it on Messenger, you can do it on Messenger, but once you if you have a story and you have an opponent and it's confirmed, I think you should then put that in Discord. That way it doesn't get lost.
Yeah, but again, my main thing is I do not want this to be complicated. I want this to be simple. So Walker, all you have to know is Messenger. You can do whatever you want. You want to talk about your call, go do it. You want to talk smack, do it. You want to talk about real life, do it. Now, if you really want your story to shine, well, then you're going to have to get Discord and go on Discord to do that because in Messenger, it might end up getting lost with how much everybody talks in Messenger. So,
And you also have to I know Samhain used the matchmaking chat as another role play. But just keep in mind that that's kind of like a free for all. That I'm not really keeping tabs on that chat just because it's just so busy. So I mean, I prefer that you guys do anything official, like any kind of official role play in Discord, so that way I can monitor it a little bit better. So I'm just letting you know that there's one in Messenger, because bottom line too, not everybody in out of character wants to hear about role play in out of character chat. They want to talk about their lives, they want to talk about their day, they want to talk about maybe their call in general, or the game or something like that. So when they see nothing but role play talk and out of character, it can get a little frustrating for some people. So just keep that in mind as well. So and Walker too, anything that I do see in Messenger that's important, I'll always relay that to Blue. So even though if it's not being said in Discord, I'll still keep tabs with Blue on everything. So don't worry if anything might be missed. It could be missed, but if I do see something that's really important, then I'll let them know. So we're always going to keep in touch, Blue and
Yep,
I.
exactly. So again, but if you guys do want to roleplay on Messenger out of character, I still want them to do that. But just understand that there might be somebody sending a message right after you that has nothing to do about what you said. So if you guys go in there with that mentality that anything can be said in there, we'll be fine. And if you really just want your story to shine, then I recommend you go to Discord. Um,
Yeah.
all right, Zach is saying, like we talked about before, me building everyone their own music. That way we own the music and can be copyright claimed for it because we own it. Yeah, I have a lot of free copywritten music. Pear Bear. You don't need to kill yourself doing that. Sir Morning, hello, Sir Morning. All right, so I will repeat again because I see Sir Morning just joined in here. So, Sir Morning, um, just know out of character chat is the only chat we have now in Messenger, and you're allowed to do whatever you want in there. We're giving everybody their freedom back. We don't want people having a million rules, so you do whatever you want there. If you want your story or promos to shine more, then put that on Discord. Uh, Walker, if people don't use Discord and only use Messenger, um, then that's their decision. If they really want to be involved in Discord, then they should just download it.
Ashley says, question, can you use AI photos for role playing on Discord? Absolutely. The more AI photos, the more videos, the more, promos that you guys do, the better. Make it real, make it fun, make it lively, because guess what? When you participate that way, it's going to probably entice other people to do the same. And we got, Miller, who does amazing AI photos. I do them too. I do more posters than anything, but we have tools that we can help you guys, create a really good AI character. So yeah, by all means, use Discord to roleplay your asses off. Promo, pictures, videos. That's what it's there for. You can use your tab. You can use roleplay tab. Um, I mean, if you want, you guys can see. I know Vextra. My tab has a lot of examples of my promos and roleplay that I do. And then there's a few others I can't think right off the bat, but yeah, just go in and see how other people's how they use their tabs, and then be inspired by that. And so for sure, definitely use that stuff.
That's about it. I don't see any more questions.
I don't see anything either.
They do trail us, so I want to make sure there's no more
Yeah.
questions. Any more questions? Want to make sure we don't miss anything. Any questions? Please say now.
And if you guys need a tab on Discord for your call, let me know. I'll make one. I know there's a few that don't use them that much, but I'm still gonna keep them around just in case. So if you guys need a tab, let me know, and I'll definitely make one for you.
All right, so um, I was just thinking about me having to post all the names of the people that haven't had as much matches as other the day before, and the more I think about it, the more I hate it because um, I'm trying to avoid all that extra work. So
Do you want to start this like starting next week and start
no,
fresh?
I don't even want to do it.
Oh, okay.
I don't even want to do it because now I'll be having to do stuff for C2CW Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. That's 6 days out of 7 days a week. Hell no, I do not want that. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna take that back. You guys just gotta trust me, and plus, when we do the shows, you'll see how many matches you had. So just trust me, and I'll take everything into consideration. Obviously, try not to have factions face each other. Obviously, try to have a rivalry face each other. You know, just common sense stuff I'll make sure I take into consideration. That's it, Peaches? Anything else?
No.
All right. So that's it. Much love, people. We see y'all tomorrow. I say 6 p.m., but it'll probably be 7 p.m. Hopefully not.
7.
Yeah, probably be 7. So much love, guys. And remember,
Love you
communication.
guys.
Communication, that's it.
All right. Love you guys.
All right, later.